Hello and welcome to 5-Minute Math. Today we are looking at the third grade concept of comparing fractions. This is standard 3.3H in the great state of Texas, and we are using item number 26 off the 2021 released STAAR test. If you have not done so already, please go ahead and take a moment to pause the video, work this problem out on your own, unpause it, and then we will look at our answers together. So we have models that are the same size, so we can easily compare these fractions, and they are each divided into equal size parts. So that's also good. And so let's just label these real quick. I'm just going to put them in the middle because we've got each model, top and bottom, that have the same amount. So we've got 8 equal parts. So I'm just going to label each of these as 1/8. And if I were to add all of them together, I would get 8/8. Big difference being the top model only goes 6 together. So if we put these 6 together, that's going to be our top model, whereas the bottom model goes all 8 together. And so let's see if we can label these real quick. So even though we used our unit fraction, so let's put that right here, unit fraction is when we have a fraction and we're keeping a denominator of 1 to show, or a numerator of 1 to show that it is the smallest fraction possible. So I mentioned those two words, numerator. So in our unit fraction, right, our numerator is going to be 1. In our unit fraction, our denominator is going to be whatever we happen to have, that's the total. So in this case, it's going to be 8. So our denominator is 8 because we have 8 total pieces. We chose to keep units of 1, so that's what our numerator is. So in this top fraction, we have 1/8, 2/8, 3/8, 4/8, 5/8, 6/8. So we can call this top model 6/8 simply because we have 6 1/8 together, and 1 and 1 and 1 and 1 and 1 and 1. 6 times makes 6/8. Down at the bottom, we've got 1/8, 1/8, 1/8, 1/8, that's 4. 1/8, 1/8, 1/8, 1/8, that's another 4. 4 and 4 make 8. So the whole thing is shaded in. That's 8/8. So first we need to compare which one is greater than, which one is less than. Well, you can see that my 8/8 sticks out an extra 2 as compared to my 6/8. So what we could do is we could write it 2 different ways, depending on whichever way they want to show. We can say 8/8 is greater than 6/8. Or we can say, if we want to say 6/8 first, is less than 8/8. Either way, your opening always goes to the larger number, and in this case, our 8/8 is larger. I know this is less than, so I can turn that into like a capital L, kind of turn it onto its side, and this is what I'm trying to write there, less. I always think of less than as kind of a capital L, rotated a little bit there. So it looks like in their answers, they're keeping 6/8 first. So all we need to do is find 6/8 is less than 8/8. Oh, but the problem is look, I've got 2 possible answers. I've got both F and G. H and J are going to be incorrect because they have 6/8 as greater than 8/8. So let's just go ahead and get rid of those 2. But I've got 2 different answers, which means it's not so much the comparison. We know this is correct. In both instances, it's the explanation. That's what we need to look at. So let's take a look at F. Because sixths are smaller parts than eighths. Sixths are smaller parts than eighths. Well, 2 problems here. Sixths are not smaller parts than eighths. Second problem, we're not dealing with sixths. We do have 6 as a numerator, but we're not dealing with sixths at all. We're dealing with eighths and eighths. So I think that's probably a tricky one, because sixths is when you have, a shape and you kind of break it up like this into 6 equal parts. We don't have that. We've got eighths. So let's hope it's G, because 6 out of 8 parts is less out of 8 than 8 out of 8 parts. Yes. So 6 out of 8 right here. See that 6 out of 8? That's just another way of saying 6/8. 8 out of 8. That's another way of saying 8/8 is less than, and look at, there's our fraction. So our answer is G.